Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors will trade Buddy Hield, as the player has had a season below his average and it would be best to let him go elsewhere, with the goal of trading him for a player who is important on defense. In addition to Hield and Kuminga, the Warriors would also be willing to consider offers for Brandon Podziemski before the trade deadline. Warriors guard Buddy Hield could be on the move. Originally appeared on the Sporting News. Add the Sporting News as a preferred source by clicking here. The future of the Golden State Warriors roster continues to be in flux ahead of February's trade deadline. NBA insider Evan Sidery reports that the Warriors are evaluating Buddy Hield's trade market. Hield is averaging 7.9 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 1.6 assists this season. He's shooting 41.3% from the field and 32% from three-point range. He's been in and out of head coach Steve Kerr's rotation as the Warriors have searched for answers during a tough stretch. He's seen a reduced role in Golden State this season, averaging 18.4 minutes in 28 games. Hield, who's in his second season with the Warriors, played 22.7 minutes a night in 82 games last season. Hield has been considered of the NBA's premier shooters since entering the league in 2016. He's a career 39.5% shooter from deep and has had 4 seasons where he shot north of 40%. A contending team could look to add the sharpshooting Hield. The Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets are 2 teams that would make sense. But it's unknown if those teams have interest in him. Hield is on an affordable contract but does have guaranteed money over the next 2 seasons. He's set to make $9.2 million this season and is owed around $19 million over the next 2 seasons. He has a player option in 2027 to 28. Hield is one of many veterans on Golden State whose future status with the team is in doubt. Forward Jonathan Kuminga and guard Gary Payton II have also been mentioned as likely trade candidates. Steve Kerr hits back at the referee's 4-week Draymond Green ejection. The Golden State Warriors got a much-needed win by beating the Phoenix Suns 119-116. It would have been a disastrous loss for Golden State, as it would have been their 4th consecutive defeat. Thankfully for the Warriors, Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler combined for 53 points. Draymond Green only got to play 8 minutes, as he was ejected from the game with 2 technical fouls. It was a surprising call because most people did not expect that to happen, but the Warriors had to play almost the whole game without their best defender. Kerr calls out the refs and Dillon Brooks. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr admits that at least 1 technical foul was warranted because Green was talking to the referees. However, Kerr disliked that the second technical was quickly called on Green, which led to the ejection. Kerr was livid about the call, which led to him also getting a technical foul. It was a bad stretch for the Warriors because they lost a top defender and playmaker. However, it appeared that the Warriors were fueled by Green's ejection. More, ranking 3 key Golden State Warriors trade targets. I thought it was weak. He was yelling at the refs, so he definitely deserved one. But then, he was walking to the bench, and he yelled something, and the second technical. We saw one guy on their team literally punch Steph in the stomach the other night. Premeditated, punches him in the stomach, no ejection for that, Kerr said after the game. Dillon Brooks was the player that Kerr was talking about, which was why he was livid. Kerr wanted to call it out because it was not the best moment for the referees, given the context a couple of days prior. Curry credits the ejection as the motivation for the Warriors. The Warriors needed a win after their struggles in the past few weeks. They lost to the same Suns team on Thursday, so they wanted to get revenge for that. However, it was a tough matchup for the Warriors, especially when Green got ejected. Thankfully for the Warriors, Curry and Butler stepped up in his place. Curry himself credited the ejection as some sort of a wake-up call for the Warriors, as they needed that to get the win. More, Warriors Steph Curry makes basketball history never done in NBA for his position. Yeah, it's tough. We were energized at the beginning of the game, knowing that it was a good opportunity to bounce back. There was a weird, choppy, physical game in the first quarter. It spilled into the second. I think it woke us up because we knew without him, we had to play tougher, Curry said after the game about the ejection. Now, the Warriors are 14-15 on the season, clinging to the 8th seed in the Western Conference. It will be a tough stretch moving forward, but the Warriors are ready to improve in their quest to make the postseason. Warriors Draymond Green ejected from Suns game after 2 quick techs. Draymond Green is at it again. The forward got ejected from the Warriors vs Suns matchup after picking up 2 quick technical fouls. It wouldn't be a Golden State Warriors season without a little drama from Draymond Green, and on Saturday night, the veteran forward delivered his first ejection of the 2025-26 campaign. In a heated rematch against the Phoenix Suns at the Chase Center, Green was tossed with 10:39 remaining in the second quarter. The sequence began when Green was whistled for a foul after shoving Suns guard Colin Gillespie in the back following a block on the other end. Frustrated by the call, Green unleashed a barrage of complaints at the officiating crew. The officials wasted no time, hitting Green with 2 technical fouls in rapid succession. Despite efforts from teammates and head coach Steve Kerr to intervene, Green was sent to the locker room, ending his night after just 9 minutes of action. The game was already tense coming in. The two teams had met just 2 nights prior in Phoenix, a contest that saw the Suns scrape by with a 1-point win and featured a flagrant foul by Dillon Brooks on Stephen Curry. Green's early exit only added fuel to the fire in what has become a chippy Western Conference rivalry. Before his departure, Green had tallied 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. His absence left a gaping hole in the Warriors' defensive rotation, forcing Kerr to rely more heavily on his bench unit to contain Phoenix's attack. While Green's passion drives Golden State, moments like this walk a fine line between sparking the team and leaving them shorthanded. As he marched off the floor, the Draymond experience was in full effect, loud, unapologetic, and, for tonight, cut short. Warriors Steph Curry makes basketball history never done in NBA for his position. Stephen Curry continues to boggle the mind. The Golden State Warriors legend is 37 years old. He's a mid-sized point guard who had major ankle issues early in his career. He shouldn't still be doing what he's doing. But oh boy, is he doing it all right. On Saturday night, Curry became the oldest point guard in NBA history to have a game with at least 25 points and 10 rebounds, according to Real Sports. All told, Curry finished with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in a 119-116 win over the Phoenix Suns. He shot 9-for-19 from the floor, 4-for-11 from 3 and 6-for-7 from the foul line. More, Nikola Jokic just broke an NBA record that might end up being unbreakable. It's wild that Curry decided on this night to get on the glass that much. He does it once in a while, but it's still an added layer that we only get to see rarely. 8 of Curry's boards were defensive, while a pair were on the offensive end. Curry was also a +13 in a 3-point win, so he was clearly highly influential to the Warriors doing good things during the 35 minutes he was on the floor. Just be sure to appreciate this man while he's still playing. This era has given us legends who seem like they'll never go away. But in reality, the clock is ticking. Someday, Curry won't be on the court blowing our minds any longer. For now, we just have to recognize the greatness in our midst. Could this proposed agreement happen? Colossal trade that sends Kuminga out and brings Klay Thompson back to Warriors. In this trade idea involving 8 teams, with the Warriors at the center, they would send out Jonathan Kuminga in exchange for Klay Thompson and other assets. Bleacher Report came up with an insane, colossal trade idea that would center around the Golden State Warriors. In this trade idea, the Warriors would bring back their fan-favorite sharpshooter Klay Thompson along with other assets, including a 2027 first-round pick, sending out Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Al Horford, and additional assets in the process. This massive 8-team trade would also include players like the Nets' Cam Thomas, who has been surrounded by trade rumors and, in this scenario, would replace Klay Thompson in Dallas. Kuminga would move to the Utah Jazz in this trade, while Horford would be sent to the Nets and Hield dealt to the Orlando Magic. In this trade idea, the Warriors would bring back their fan-favorite sharpshooter Klay Thompson along with other assets, including a 2027 first-round pick, sending out Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Al Horford, and additional assets in the process. This massive 8-team trade would also include players like the Nets' Cam Thomas, who has been surrounded by trade rumors and, in this scenario, would replace Klay Thompson in Dallas. Kuminga would move to the Utah Jazz in this trade, while Horford would be sent to the Nets and Hield dealt to the Orlando Magic. Full trade. Warriors get Klay Thompson, from Mavericks, Jonathan Isaac, from Magic, Day'Ron Sharpe, from Nets, Garrett Temple, from Raptors, 2027 first-round pick, via Jazz. Jazz get Jonathan Kuminga, from Warriors, Hunter Tyson, from Nuggets, Nigel Hayes-Davis, from Suns, $2.5 million, from Suns. Mavericks get Cam Thomas, from Nets, Jalen Pickett, from Nuggets, $8.5 million trade exception, Klay Thompson. Magic get Buddy Hield, from Warriors, Haywood Highsmith, from Nets, $5.8 million trade exception, Jonathan Isaac. Nets get Al Horford, from Warriors, Tracy Jackson-Davis, from Warriors, Kyle Anderson, from Jazz, Georges Niang, from Jazz, Jett Howard, from Magic, 2026 Los Angeles Lakers second-rounder, via Raptors, 2027 LA Clippers second-rounder, via Jazz, 2030 second-rounder, via Mavericks, 2031 Philadelphia 76ers second-rounder, via Jazz, $2.8 million, from Raptors, $2.7 million, from Nuggets, $2.5 million, from Suns. Nuggets get $2.2 million trade exception, Hunter Tyson, $2.2 million trade exception, Jalen Pickett. Raptors get $2.3 million trade exception, Garrett Temple. Suns get $2 million trade exception, Nigel Hayes-Davis. With this trade, the Warriors are finally parting ways with Jonathan Kuminga, receiving franchise legend Klay Thompson while also getting the Jazz's first-round pick as compensation. The Jazz acquire an exciting young player in Kuminga to add to their core of young talent, with the same applying to the Mavericks, who aren't risking much by bringing in an explosive scoring machine like Cam Thomas. The Magic gain another much-needed shooter on their roster while also offloading Jonathan Isaac's burdensome contract. The Nets receive two promising young players, Jett Howard and Tracy Jackson-Davis, along with solid second-round draft capital. Meanwhile, the Nuggets, Raptors, and Suns receive trade exceptions that could help them make additional moves in the market.